Now, let me tell you a hint about how to use actually the Holy Scriptures, because they are made for the people. They are made like a hint in life, like something you have to use, and if you use it properly, you'll get some positive results, yeah. So, um, it's not for torturing people, because a lot of people are torturing themselves by the Holy Scriptures, but it's only because they are not understanding them. And also they have been very much rewritten, and they are not the original versions, most of them, and well, there are big differences from the originals, and this is made for, well, there are reasons for it, but I'm not going to be talking about those reasons right now. I'm wanting to tell you that there is an essence, a basic principle, well, the core, if I can say, in each Holy Scripture. It doesn't matter which one. Every religion has one basic tip that is to be followed, and if it's accomplished, if you're actually accomplishing it, because it's not very easy and you have to understand beyond the normal understanding some of the principles, because, well, even if you're thinking that you're righteous at some point, you are actually, well, most of the cases, incompletely righteousness, and you don't have to be righteous. But if you are righteous, you're benefiting, and you're benefiting in spiritual ways, I could say, and it's going to result for your best, for your better, but it's not an instant effect, because it have to first penetrate through the problems and to, well, actually go to the subconscious mind. So it has to become at least like your habit or something like that, and only then you'll be benefiting the most results. But now the essence is that we are fighting the sins. We are not fighting the devil, we are not fighting whatsoever creature, or we are not fighting the flesh, because, well, you simply understand that if we are fighting ourselves, but I mean the body, well, we'll probably not be very satisfied of the results, because we cannot fight ourselves and win. It's kind of impossible. Even if we are winning, it's some kind of, well, you know, weird effect. It's not working every time, and we don't have to pay for what we have done. We have to, by somehow, repay for our mistakes, but it's not by torturing ourselves. Again, that's not helping anyone. We have to simply, well, how to say it, we have to make something, if we have done something bad, for example, and we think it's bad, because it's not that simple to judge what is good and what is bad on human level or whatsoever, but still, if we think we have done something bad, we have to try to do something good, but not to pressure ourselves to do it. We have to have some form of, well, passion. We have to be passionate and wait for when we see some opportunity to do the right thing, to repay for the bad thing we have done, well, then we can do it. But even if we are not doing this, if we are being with ourselves, if we are actually doing the right things, the things that we are thinking of positive for ourselves, because God is in everyone and we have to simply worship that God in ourselves. And this is it. This is the basic principle. This is the truth. This is the essence, the very essence. Simply said, it's so easy, and we are fighting the sins. We are not fighting some kind of monster or whatsoever which is out of us. We are fighting the sins in us, and we are not fighting them by literally beating them, because it's not possible. We have to remove them, but or at least minimize their effect, but it's not so simple. We have to understand them, we have to be knowledgeable, we have to be at least a bit wise, we have to have some wisdom, intelligence, strength, and to fight our battles, but not struggling. Struggling is not the way. Struggling is when people are going, well, we have to struggle for our goals, but not struggle without any reason. Reason is very important. If you are reasonless, you probably have problems fighting the sins again, and you're not to be winning at a day or something like that. You are fighting them as long as you live, and you have to know that even if you have fought, for example, all the things that you have accomplished, a very passionate and, well, life full of so many goodness, you know, you have to be like a saint already, you have to be a bit distance from the normal society, you have to be, well, knowledgeable, and to share your knowledge you have to be very much different things, which is hard to be accomplished. But even then, those things, they are not totally destroyed. You have to, it's going again and again, because this life, this realm, is based on cycles. It's going to start again. Some of the things will, if you're, for example, waiting, if you're very passionate, because that's the very problem of humanity nowadays, they don't have enough passion, but still, for example, laziness and sloth can affect you. If you are a doer and you're doing the best you can, when then maybe some sort of pride, or, for example, lust, we don't really know, but you know, some of those things will eventually affect you in time. If you are, and there are many examples for that, you can think for yourself, but still, what I'm trying to say is, those holy scriptures and the literature, whatsoever the word is pronounced, I don't really care about that right now. So they have some tips how to fight sins. And if it was an academy, because it's very simple to put it that way, well, then God would be the master of that academy, the founder of that academy, and he got many children, as we know, and some of the children would be the students and whatsoever, but still, well, then the entity called the devil or whatsoever, the opposite of God, it and all other entities like it, would be those part of that society, the same academy, which are trying to test you and to see if you are worthy, if you can, if you're doing what's best for you, if you're doing the right way, what the master, the real master, has said. In that case, it's God. And By that I mean it. It's simple to put it in that way, because you understand, they're testing you, but they're not the enemy. They're not your enemy. For example, if some of those, you don't know that for sure, because there are fights in the academy, and eventually that entities which are not on the master side, they can fight for themselves, they can think for themselves and whatsoever. So you're not absolutely sure about that, but in most of the cases they're above the normal students, and so they are masters. They're very close to the real master, to the true master, so to the founder. So they are probably testing you, but they will not totally try. They are not trying to destroy you. They will eventually even help you, some of that entities, if you're falling too much, but it's not quite simple. They may also try to test you even more then, and you could fall even on a lower level. But when you're falling, you're raising at the same time. So if you have to fall, you'll probably fall, because if you fall, you'll understand, because if there has to be a point where you cannot afford to fall anymore, and you say, that's it, I cannot, that's the final point. I have to start climbing, because climb is very important, really. It's the basic principle of what is the best to be done, because it's about climbing, and you start climbing, and you may again fall after some period, but when you're down, you're seeing the things, you're looking up and you're seeing clearly what's going on up there, but you're still down, so you have to start climbing. When you're climbing it, it's not so simple, it's not so easy to see what's going on up there or down there. It's harder for you, and it's simple, more simple to look down and see what's happening, well, below you, but it's harder to look and see clearly what's happening above. But still, it's not that simple, and you understand everything has some meaning. Everything is happening for a reason, and that has no opposition against free will. Free will is absolutely the base essence of what humankind is given, and it's one of its most beneficial goods, but still it's not opposing in any way that reason. It also has reason. Everything, even done with the free will, it has reason. So that's it. We are fighting the sins. That have to be understood from everyone, because you cannot be righteous or whatsoever, and you cannot benefit from that righteousness, because it's made for you. That Holy Scriptures are made for you, and not for torturing you or something like that. They are not made to make you suffer or something like that. Just the opposite. They are made to make you feel better, to make you understand life. There are tips, like if this was play, there are tips. They are telling you how to act if you want to actually have a nice, good life, and whatsoever, even great. And for now, I think that's enough.